Hi, good afternoon, Chatterrockers. It's Thursday, and that means some spirituality basics here on the video Facebook link. And welcome back to Karen's Living Room. So, today we're talking about building sacred spaces in your home or recognizing sacred spaces that are already in your home that you just hadn't named as such. So, I'm going to talk about why would we do this, maybe some things to think about including and then using your sacred space. And super easy, super chill, no worries. We're not going to be building an altar from scratch or anything. And then I'll include in the comments to the Facebook video some pictures from my own home of my own little altar table with my vision board. And you can take a look at what this looks like in real life, and it's super chill. So the first question is why would you do this? Why would you have a prayer space or a meditation space or a sacred space in your home? Why would you do that? Because you can be sacred and the whole world is sacred and we're all in this together and the holiness of creation and all that jazz. You would be right if you said any of those things. We can pray anywhere. We can also sleep anywhere, but we choose to sleep in our beds because that's a place that we've set aside for sleeping because sleeping is important. And we can eat anywhere in our homes or in the world, except don't take your stuff into the sanctuary at Shadow Rock. Just kidding. But we usually eat in the kitchen or in the dining room because that's a place for eating. And eating is important, so we set aside a space in our home to do that. So the same is true of our spirituality, that we can do it anywhere. Absolutely, more power to you. But it is important, and so it's possible to set aside space for that part of your life and to say, this is what I do in this space, and it's important. So that's kind of the why, or at least one reason why. If you have other reasons, you can drop them in the comments. Then I have some thoughts on the things to include, and the way that I got this list of things to include is that I just started kind of brainstorming and got some lists, and then I went and looked at my own space and said, do I have these things on the list, or we know what's missing. So here's some things that I recommend including in your sacred space. And really, it's just some ideas. You do you. Some words of wisdom. I have in my space this little tiny picture that has words from Ecclesiastes that was given to me by a mentor many, many years ago. And that's something that I found when I started building my sacred space. I thought, what are the things that I've kept around a long time? If I've held on to a little trinket or a gift from someone or a little figurine or a piece of art, if I've hung on to that for a long time, maybe that's something I want to put in my sacred space because it's something important to me. I've moved around a lot, as some of you know, and so if it's followed me around for several states worth of moves, then maybe it's something special to me. So words of wisdom. Inspiration. I like handwritten stuff too. I don't have anything handwritten in my sacred space right now, but I really like the power of my own handwriting or the handwriting of somebody that I care about. Some photos, maybe photos of you, your family, maybe something from your childhood. Always good to include. Some light, something that gives light, because that's just comforting and helpful and symbolic, and something that's been a part of religious traditions and faith practices for a really long time for a good reason. So I have a candle in my sacred space, and I have matches nearby so that I can actually light it. Plants or flowers are good, something alive or something that used to be alive. Maybe some dried flowers, maybe a rock, an air plant, a crystal, whatever is easy to dust. Something fun is a meditation helper, like maybe a prayer beads, like a mala, or a rosary, or you can do a Catholic rosary or a non-Catholic rosary, and you can just Google Protestant rosary and get some ideas on how to make or use prayer beads in your spiritual life. Other meditation helpers that you might not have thought about is a holding cross or a palm cross. I have some of these at Shadrach, and the kids use them, and they really like that feeling of something that just fits in your hand and feels comforting. Or a finger labyrinth is something else that's really, I have one that's plastic that I bought on Amazon, and one that is a beautiful handmade piece of pottery. Both are good, and it is something soothing, especially might be needed in these times. Take a look in your personal prayer space or your sacred space for texture and movement. Just kind of have those ideas, some color, some noise, or something that sounds, maybe a bell, a gong, a chime, something beautiful, something seasonal, or something that changes, like maybe I have a little Buddha that was a gift from Abbott in my sacred space, but maybe at Christmas I would swap it out for a little Virgin Mary or a little creche. Something playful I think is fun to include, is something that makes you smile, so that when you pass by the space in your commute from your workspace to the kitchen and to the back to wash your hands again, that kind of thing, that you just have a little smile on your face as you pass this area of your house. For something to include, maybe to make the space more usable for you, is a cushion or a pillow. That way you can, a chair, whatever, so that you have a place to sit in your sacred space. So I have a little meditation cushion. Again, I just ordered it online. It's nothing super exciting, but also Yogapura on 7th Street has some nice meditation cushions. You might want to check them out when they open back up. So those are some things to maybe include. You can look at mine in the pictures. I took some pictures with my phone this morning, so you can take a look at what that looks like in real life. If you have any questions, just drop them in the comments, or email or text me. That's fine too. And then I have some thoughts on how to use this space, or some questions you want to ask yourself as you're doing this. And you don't have to know the answer to these questions. Because I don't know the answer to these questions for my own space, but just some things to think about using your sacred space in your home. And that is, do you want it to be movable? Do you want to be able to pick it up and take it places? Maybe you want to when the weather is so nice like now, maybe you want to get spiritual in your backyard, and you want to have something movable, like a little shoebox or a little folding something that you can carry around with you. You also want to think about like the boundaries of your space. Like, is it always here? Who's allowed to be in that space? How will you use it? And where is it going to be? I don't recommend having it any place where there's screens, but I don't know that that's avoidable for some of us. Maybe we have a TV everywhere, and then, you just get spiritual with your TV on. That's fine. If you can do it, good for you. And then the last question that is something interesting to think about, I think, is, will you share your sacred space? And who do you trust to be in that space with you? I think that's a big question, especially now. In this season when we're with our loved ones in different ways. So think about those things, and I'll think about them too. And then take a look at the photos in the comments and see what you think. Ask me any questions, or make any comments or feedback. That would be great. Sunday morning, we're doing communion by Zoom. So maybe you want to arrange to do that in your sacred space. We'll see. And then if we're all on Zoom and all of our video cameras are on, then maybe we can see one another's sacred space. And wouldn't that be a wonderful thing to share? So peace to you all. Take good care and be well. And I will see you Sunday morning at 11 o'clock for Zoom Commune. That's what I'm calling it. It'll be great to be together. Take care.